This boy laughed at his victim's mother. The judge's reaction to it was unreal. This boy rubbed his hands and kept smiling as he went to the dock, mocking her feelings. The mother couldn't stop crying and had to be helped. He treated the situation as a game. He was confident he would get away with it and might even be right. When his lawyer said his client wanted to address the court, Dante Wright stood up defiantly. He expressed his belief that he would be home soon and shared his love for his family. Despite his behavior, he could be free. This wasn't the first time Dante Wright had surprised the court. Months before this mocking scene, he admitted his guilt as the sole perpetrator of the crime against Jordan Clay. Dante, along with 2 other friends, had planned to steal Jordan's belongings. Amid the struggle and threats that day, Dante pulled the trigger, drilling Jordan's head, sentencing him at that moment. In a cold way, Dante admitted every detail, yet justice wanted to set him free. "There will never be an answer good enough to satisfy why you shot my son," Jordan's mother said. "For the first time in my life, I feel hate in my heart. I hope that every time you want a jacket, you stay cold. I hope that every time you want for shoes, you get a hole in yours," she continued. Jordan's mom wrote a letter because she worried Dante might appeal his sentence and get out of jail early. She was too upset to speak for herself, so she asked a family member to read it. Dante's bad behavior during the hearing upset her even more. But what surprised everyone was when the judge saw Dante laughing and making fun of the situation. Instead of going easy on him, the judge gave him an even harder punishment, which wiped the smile off Dante's face. "Watching you sit there, smile, laugh, and shake your head like this was no big deal, I'm very tempted to just say I'm not going to accept this sentence agreement. We'll go to trial, and if you're convicted of taking someone's life, you'll go to prison for the rest of your life. That means you'll perish there," the judge said. Dante heard the judge's final words, and his happiness vanished at that moment. In the room, only the sobs of Jordan's mother could be heard. She felt an act of justice in her son's name. The accused would receive the punishment he deserved. Jordan's mom spoke up again, her voice shaking but strong. She told Dante that there was no reason good enough for why he shot her son. He took away Jordan's future, dreams, and everything he could have been. But even though she's angry, she won't let hate take over. She hopes that one day Dante will realize the damage he's done. In an act of kindness from Jordan's family, they decided not to go to trial and that Dante would receive a sentence between 23 and 52 years. The length of his stay in prison would depend on how much he could reform as well as his behavior. After so many tears and pain, they showed mercy. They didn't consider it appropriate to prolong this, and so, they bid farewell to Jordan in peace. Dante's friends, Jarmarius and Delrano, were found to be involved with him. They each got sentences of between 14 and 50 years in jail, just like Dante. Their futures now depend on their behavior in prison. But sadly, it's Jordan, an innocent boy who was about to graduate, who suffered because of these heartless guys. Even though saying goodbye to Jordan was really painful, his family felt some peace knowing that the guilty ones were punished, which could also teach others a lesson. Jordan's family chose to be merciful instead of dragging out the pain with a long trial. Jordan's dad, who hadn't said anything before, spoke up. He hoped this whole situation would make people think twice before taking a life. In the end, Jordan's story is a sad reminder of how pointless violence is and how strong a family's love can be. Even though they'll never get over losing Jordan, his family hopes that choosing mercy will inspire others to be kind instead of hateful. They said goodbye to Jordan, a smart and promising kid whose life was cut short for no reason, knowing they did their best to not